All right, here we're given angle 3 is supplementary to angle 1. So angle 3 and angle 1 are supplementary. Angle 4 is supplementary to angle 2, right? And we're trying to prove that angle 3 is congruent to angle 4. So I'm going to set up my table, statements, and reasons. All right. And so first of all, start with our givens. Angle 3 is supplementary to angle 1, and angle 4 is supplementary to angle 2, right? And those are given. All right, so now I'm going to look at what I can see in the diagram, right? What we can gather. So here I can see angle 1 and angle 2 are a vertical pair, right? So they must be congruent. So I'm going to say angle 1 is congruent to angle 2. Reason is vertical angle theorem, right? Theorem 2-1. And you could also put vertical angles theorem, right? Okay. All right, so now that I know that these two are congruent, now I have two angles, 3 and 4, that are supplementary to congruent angles, right? So I can say that angle 3 must be congruent to angle 4 because of theorem 2-2, which is congruent supplements theorem. All right. So that's pretty straightforward. A couple steps, we use two of the theorems that we just proved. All right, I wanted to show you a paragraph proof just to show you that there's, that you don't always have to use a statement reasons table or two-column proof. So paragraph proof, same logic and everything, but it's just written in paragraph form. So we're going to write complete sentences, and basically each sentence is going to be a statement and a reason. So, like, for example, we can start out by saying, okay, well, angle 2 is congruent to angle 3 because it's given, right? So angle 2 is congruent to angle 3 because it is given. All right. So then we can include that in the diagram. Angle 2 is congruent to angle 3. We're trying to prove that angle 1 is congruent to angle 4, right? So next we can say, okay, well, angles 1 and 2 must be congruent, right? And 3 and 4 must be congruent because those are vertical pairs, right? So I can say by the vertical angles theorem, angle 1 is congruent to angle 2, and angle 3 is congruent to angle 4, right? All right, so once again, we're still saying statements and reasons, but we're just doing it in paragraph form. All right, so now that I see that angle 1 is congruent to angle 2 and angle 3 is congruent to angle 4, and since I know that angles 2 and 3 are congruent, right? So now we can say by the transitive property, right? We can use substitution first maybe, but we can basically say if two things are equal to the same value, they must be equal to each other, right? By the transitive property. So I can say by the transitive property, angle 2, or excuse me, angle 1 must be congruent to angle 4. Okay, and there we go. So we just formed our proof. So it doesn't have to be a long paragraph, right? Basically one sentence per row of a 2-column proof. Just say your statement and say your reason, but just write them in complete sentences.